Hello, fellow mentors. Welcome everybody to the stream. How are y'all doing? Sorry for the delay, you guys. I meant to start at 8 today. Ended up having some, first of all, some stream scuff, which is so fun. We love that. OBS wasn't working yet again, so had to reboot it. But other than that, just some IRL stuff got to deal with outside of stream stuff. But we're here now. Welcome everybody to the stream. I'm Molson Goldfinch, your steampunk adventure from the sky city of Leviton, here to fly into your day. And today, we're going to be working on more TTRPG stuff. We're going to be continuing to design our TTRPG that we've been working on based off our group's lore. Our lore world, I guess you could call it. Do let me know if the volume is okay for the music, because it might be drowning out my voice, may not be, but yeah, how's everybody doing? Again, sorry for the delay. Had some stream scuff plus IRL stuff to deal with before stream, so we're here now. So yeah, welcome those of you that are coming in. I am just gonna reformat my stream stuff real quick, and then we'll get right into it. Because yeah, things are working weirdly today. But my goal today is to get the lore parts that I feel like we could just do off stream, and then at some point we can come in and showcase them. Because it's not too important. The actual important stuff is the gameplay, the actual, elements of the game. So I would like to showcase that a bit more, or do that on stream more than the lore parts. What's going on with my chat? I'm just professional streamer right here. Totally know what I've been doing. I mean, then again, I've been only streaming for how long now? Like coming up to a year in May, so still pretty new to all this, but relatively, but starting to get the hang of it. Hope everyone's day is going well. I've been tuning into the previous streams. If not, feel free to check those out. I'm streaming here on YouTube, but also on Twitch, so wherever you come from, hello. Hope you guys have some snacks on hand as well, because we're gonna delve into this and get our game on today. Alrighty. That being said, let's head into everything real quick here. Alrighty. Oh, I love this song. But we're just gonna vibe here for a sec. Alrighty. So yeah, welcome to WBC Realms. This is the TTRPG I am working on, or have been working on these past few days. This is like an iteration off of something that we did. I didn't even realize this until our last stream that we started doing designs and whatnot for this. We've been working on this since debut. I did not realize that until last stream. I was like, oh my goodness, since debut, that's crazy. But then again, it has gone through many iterations. We started off with this being a board game. I mean, I can probably go to the different versions here. Let's see if I can pull it up. I don't think I shouldn't be doxing anything, should I? If I show you guys this? Shouldn't be. Let me just open up the files and then we can take a look here. Our first version was, this is the very first version where we went on, I don't even know if I linked it, but we went on the Young Game Designer, like, game generator platform. Generate some ideas for us. It was like a little challenge that we did at the start of our journey. And we got these 3 random things here for a rule, a goal, and a genre. Genre being RPG, goal being find all the items, can't touch the floor. So through that we were like, oh, let's make a board game out of this that's like a, I don't know what the word is, like progressive, like, I don't know. I don't think it's progressive. I'm missing. It's another P word, I think. Um, Procedurally generated. I don't know, something like that. Kind of dungeon crawler where like tiles would start well in starting tile and then like tiles would expand out. But like the way you interact the world in the game is more like a TTRPG. But then the tiles just kind of act as your map, sort of. So we went through that, and then if we go back here, we have our second version of this, which is more refined. As we said, RPG dungeon crawler strategy board game. We had like a character sheet and everything, and then we actually, I didn't realize this, we wrote a lot. We wrote so much, my goodness. Like all of the different things that you can do. I might actually look back on some of these and then bring them into what we're working on now, which is what I'm planning on doing from now on with the WBC realm stuff. Like we even got a tile like distribution table, which is insane. But yeah, we have been working on this for a little while, but this was supposed to just focus on, I believe, Starlight Horizon. There we go. Starlight Horizon Blimp, which I eventually turned into a separate TTRPG experience. So this is the reason why we're kind of going away from this version. And then we had I don't know, we had a third version, I believe, but I don't think. Yeah, see, this is the third version, where it actually started to look more like a TTRPG because we came back to it afterwards. And then we looked at everything here. You can see the character sheet's still the same from before. It's just like, again, iterating off what we had before, making it look cleaner, but still like the same information. And then we moved on to like this draft. You can see this is the copy that we had of that doc, and then we had like a new doc for this new version of the game. And now we're on to this. We're doing a proper like TTRPG kind of system here, trying to make our own thing out of it. Very introductory friendly, like for people who, you know, may have like no experience or little experience TTRPGs and just want to get a taste for it, right? We've got that for them. And then, yeah, we have the little info on the lore stuff. I probably, again, will do the lore stuff after, or off stream, sorry. Like, I still haven't filled in this, just because I've been making the other stuff. If you want to see our progress for this version, at least, feel free to check out the, I don't know if I hashtagged it, I think I did, the WBC Realms, hashtag WBC Realms streams, again, on YouTube and on Twitch. But if you're watching Twitch, depending on when you're seeing this, or if you're seeing this at all, it may or may not have gone off just because I'm not like affiliate or anything, so I can't keep my videos past, I think, a week it is, with just the default kind of account. So if you want to see all the stuff I've been making for Twitch folks, check out the streams and whatnot on YouTube. I have some videos up, and I have plans to edit and continue to upload some edits and whatnot from my own channel. But again, this is all like me doing it in my own time, so we'll see how much time we have for those. But that being said, check out the other WBC Realms. That's hashtag WBC _ Realms. All those streams. Or if you guys want to see what we've been doing these past few days. Tomorrow we're going to do more of the same, and then Saturday we're just going to chill out with some Minecraft. I don't want to stress my brain too much. And even today we're probably not going to go for too long. We're probably only going to go till like, I don't even know actually. Well, we'll see. But my goal is today is to get some start on the, where is it here? Some start on where is it? Some start on this part of the adventure, which is designing your vehicle creation, or designing your vehicle in quotes, because the way the story is for this adventure is that your party is partaking in the Solar Sprint Championship, so hence the Solar Sprint vehicle thing. But Solar Sprint Championships, that's the title of the adventure, and basically it's the, I think we deemed it the 5th annual Solar Sprint. So I can't speak. Gosh, every time I'm I'm gonna say this every time I get on stream, but anyhow, that's besides the point. The Solar Sprint Championships, we're gonna be doing, yeah, we're gonna be focusing on that adventure, which is the highlights the 5th annual Solar Sprint Championships. Kind of think about it like Formula One or like some big racing tournament, which is kind of what it is. It's a huge racing event that happens throughout the Sky Cities, which are floating steampunk-based, but yeah, steampunk-based floating islands in the air, in the sky, thousands of feet in the sky. Hence the name Sky Cities. And this journey, kind of WBC realms, think of it like as the title header, so like D&D, for example, to compare it to. And then the rest is just signifying, okay, where, like location-wise, is it, the timeline. Yeah, so it sort of classifies like where the adventure is taking place, when is it taking place, and like what is the adventure you're playing through, which is in this case the Solar Sprint. So we're gonna make a kind of vehicle creation thing today, and then we'll clarify the combat exchanges and stuff later. But just to hit you guys up on what I've been doing off stream here, I wrote a tiny bit of, I think we didn't have this before, the character stats, and then I'm trying to think what else I put in here. I think we filled in the elemental table or elemental ability stuff. Yeah, and then we looked at, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, last time we just stopped at the backgrounds. I might actually take a look for another names for these, and try to think of some new backgrounds as well. And then I still haven't done the character sheet part, but I probably should. I mean, I'll have to do it all eventually, but yeah, let's see here. Let's lead you guys through a bit of the character sheet stuff, because I don't think we covered that or did that last stream, so we'll see how this goes here. So essentially, in this TTRPG, it's very narrative focused, so as much as I love rolling dice, there's a lot of like stats and stuff that you gotta track that are associated with dice with TTRPGs, so I don't really want to like overwhelm a new player coming into this and put too much pressure on them having to like track a bunch of stats or like a lot of like the background, to keep in mind all the equipment that they have and all these different things. So the narrative part of it, the narrative focus, just helps players get more into the adventure, hopefully, but also hopefully not, you know, not have them track too many things in their head. Because I know sometimes, especially when I was playing other systems like D&D, for example, for the first time, even though I loved the experience and whatnot, what I found was that like preparing a character and all that is so long. Again, no shade to you know, D&D, because it's been around forever. It's an amazing game, but there's always some annoyances for the like most default version of it. And not like, this is not like if you're doing any homebrew stuff or changing any rules or modifying things. It's very, I don't know what else to say, but just like very overwhelming to a new player. And hopefully with the stats here, because you only have you only have a scale here. It's not really 2 stats, but they're called centers, which essentially means that if it shifts one way to another, it'll like narratively impact the story. And those are based off like the elements and stuff that we looked at that are tied to your characters, which you can check out in another stream for more. I think I want to say our previous day's stream, if not, what day is it today? We're working on this day 3, I believe. Is it day 3 or it's day 4? No, day 3. Yeah. So I think we covered this day 2. So if you guys want to check out more details on like, oh, what is all this stuff that we talked about before, leading up to the character stats and whatnot, and the new stuff today, feel free to check that out, because that'll give more context. But we have the spirit and body here, and your tracker kind of starts at 0, so like your balance between your spirit, which is like the elemental connections, and the body side. So I'll read a bit what it says here and just kind of summarize, but essentially, when you act and the outcome is in doubt, again, this is borrowing kind of from what I had of GM Binder, what I had here. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like what I had here for the action part right here. Like when you act and the outcome is in doubt, this adventure specifically, or this version of our Scarlet Horizon TTRPG adventure, is based on the Honey Heist system. So it's adapted based on the Honey Heist system and with locations and encounters, thanks to the Game Master's guide to more random encounters. So ideally, I do want to have the locations and whatnot be original. Obviously you can take inspiration from all this, but ideally I want everything to be original. So I might come back to this even in my own time and just revamp this whole adventure and then perhaps release it, I don't know, to you guys if that's something you guys would be interested in, and kind of testing this out and see how the adventure plays. I have tested this version of the adventure before with playtesters, with like a group of, I think the biggest group I got was like 4 players plus me as the GM, so it was pretty fun. The only caveat with this version is because it's not like the final like WBC Realms version I wanted to take on, and it's based in the Honey Heist system, just because I wanted to like see how that worked first before I got into more narrative focused TTRPG systems, because I didn't have much experience with it. Because I wanted to do that first before I got into really creating my own based around that. So, but we do have this document in GM Binder going on here. Everything else besides page 1 that I changed the story is basically the same. We might translate this through, we might not, just because GM Binder is very very picky about formatting and limited. So I might look at some other sources. If you guys know any sources as well, chat, just let me know in the chat, because yeah, GM Binder is very, very limiting in what you can do design wise. But it's a great and easy platform to kind of like learn how to put everything together in a presented way that's very, very nice. I mean, look at all this, very cool. So that prelude over, we're gonna talk a little bit about what you can do when you take action in the game and like shifting your center here. So again, yeah, when you're acting, your outcome is in doubt, so something that's outside your character's scope. So at this point you would be like done making your character. So again, just go over what we have for the character. Each character is tied to has some elemental tie to them. So for example, here you would see you roll your realm of origin, that determines kind of basically your elemental tie. So each character or each realm has a way of behaving, culture norms, and so forth, which we should be able to read here later on to go more in depth about it. Character name is kind of the standard, like, oh, you can either make your own, or like here's a list of inspirations that you can you can inspire a name out of, or you can just you can pick from that list, is what I'm going to be doing. But also just giving you like a basic guideline as well if you want to make your own name, how that works in the context of the realms and whatnot. So like we filled this out last stream here on like what happens for those that are of the realm of earth or water or frost. Like how do their naming conventions typically work? For someone like me who's realm of sky, it usually has something to do with like flight or levitation, or something to do with like inventing, because that's kind of our thing in the realm of sky. So for example, my name is Wilson Goldfinch. So the Goldfinch part obviously is, the Goldfinch is a type of bird, so there's that implied flight part of it. But also, I mean, I guess it's more like a title than anything. I am an inventor as well, so not IRL, but I guess my lore-wise, I am. I guess you can call me an inventor of games, but like I don't want to claim that title. That's like, ooh, that's a bit big. I don't know. don't know. To me, it has the same gravitas as like, I am Lord of the World. Like, it sounds a bit, I don't know, pretentious is the right word, but it just sounds a bit bold. I don't know. But yeah, it has something to do with like either flight or inventing and whatnot. So, or you can just create your own name. You don't have to necessarily follow. It's not a strict guideline on you have to follow these, but generally it's kind of how it works. If you want to make like meme names as well, like go ahead, because I always find those fun. Like I remember this. It's not the same system we're basing everything on now, but it's or anything that's inspired off of what we have now. But I remember in Trash Taste they did I think it was what's their after show called? Like I keep forgetting what's they have Trash Taste, but then their after show live stream thing. I'm forgetting what it's called. I think it's like After Dark or something. I don't know. After something probably. But I remember one of the streams they brought on Demon Dice and Demon Dice Karen, and they did like a a little TTRPG kind of adventure. It's a very different system from what like typical Western style TTRPGs are. I think it was a more like Japanese kind of. I think it was set in some kind of like isekai world. I think. My remembering, I believe, or something like that. But I think it was either Joey or Connor's character. They they had a character called Bofa. I'm not gonna explain further on that. If you know, you know. But he was looking for. I think his name was Bofa. Yeah. Looking for. No. His name was No. I think okay. I remember now. I think his name was DZ Newts. Which is just so funny. It's hilarious. So if you want to make like meme names like that, or just like, you know, lol kind of haha funny kind of names, go for it. Because it's honestly that's what makes these kind of things fun, you know. But then yeah, we have the realm of origin that kind of determines your elemental background a little bit, and then your actual like background, like how did you grow up, and get to this point in the adventure, like basically kind of determining where you were before this adventure starts. Kind of set your character in a certain mindset, and then you have your area of expertise here. That essentially just determines your skills throughout the game that you have acquired through your training. To what level depends on your level of proficiency that you'll roll for that, and your elemental ability, which is tied to your realm of origin that you rolled. But if your GM deems it, possible for your character, then they can have more than one elemental ability. Typically, though, I'm actually gonna put a note here. Typically, if this is chosen, there is no more than one additional realm of origin related. There we go. Yeah, so you can basically, like, I guess to put it in more familiar terms for those of you that perhaps might play other TTRPGs, it's kind of like multi-classing in a sense, except you're like multi-elementing. I don't know. You're commanding like two different elements, right? But it only makes sense if you're like you have the proper background or like training or whatnot from your area of expertise. I don't know if like for example, if you had you rolled navigation, right? Or additionally, you can choose from a more extensive list here, but obviously it has to be approved by GM based on your character that you want to make. Because sometimes the stuff doesn't work out, and it's like, okay, these are like opposing characteristics. How does that? If you can like explain to me how that works as a character, that's fine. But like, if you can't, and it's like kind of difficult to pinpoint everything together because it's scattered everywhere. Probably not the best idea, especially for you as a player. You're probably not going to find it as enjoyable because you're kind of going to be all over the place, unless that's your intention with your character, kind of be a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. But yeah, so these are the base areas of expertise that we're working with. I think most of this is directly pulled from this, I believe. We have inventing. Our spell casting we don't have that anymore, because it's more so like a thing that you control now within the world. We have, I think we still have stealth. Yeah, stealth, inventing. We have combat, healing. So healing kind of includes stuff like medicine as well. And then communication. Again, I need a better word for this. Let's see if I can find a better word for use here that sounds more evocative. And nah, not really intelligence. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I don't know about intelligence there. Maybe that's not the right word. Contact, touch, no. Yeah, as in message, but there's nothing, not really much here. Memo, no. News, no. Yeah, I think communication is the best that we can do here because it doesn't really, kind of hard to convey what I want to say, but it's more like you have a great ability to kind of talk to others and speak. I don't know what that would be. I might have to search up the D&D equivalent and then kind of take inspiration off that. But yeah, you have elemental abilities that tie to your realm of origin, and then you roll for a proficiency, get a little personality trait, again based off your realm of origin, just to make things simple. And then you have talents, but since this is a narrative kind of focused game, talents are more so seen as flares, like additional things that your character has mastered, little abilities that help further like distinct your character a little bit, because we don't have stats and whatnot, so we got to use systems like this. So for example, if I don't know, you rolled for Realm of Frost, I'm just gonna make a character quickly just based off my genmate Bishop right here. So for example, he is Realm of Frost. He has background will probably be something like Shaman, or we can actually say, I just thought of another background we can use, a Traveler or something, because he does travel a lot. Like he goes from place to place quite a bit. So maybe something like a background like that, or like Shaman, because he does a lot of like healing related things, spiritual healing. So he probably will get like some healing or medicine area of expertise, and then probably have like, I'm guessing that people who have healing can also like relieve status conditions, or like effects. I guess we're calling it, and this is not status conditions, it's like conditions and effects in this game. So they can probably relieve that easier than other players, or they have ability perhaps to like remove, if they're really good at it, to remove like conditions that usually would be removed just normally based off like if you met a certain achievement or like if you hit the event. But yeah, they have control over ice and cold, and then this, you know, will just be determined randomly. And then personality traits, you choose at least one. You can choose both of them, but at least one, or you can come up with your own if you want to describe your character. And then talents wise, I would say, I don't know, let's just say this character we're making that's based off of Bishop maybe has like their unique talent. I mean, Bishop is a Craw healer, so he has like probably I'm assuming something related to that. So like for more like fantasy feeling, maybe like I'm trying to think on the spot here because it's like a flare, right? So it had to be something unique to them. If I'm thinking my own thing, then it'd probably be my, well, I'm wondering if that would be equipment or that's the thing. I'm wondering if what I'm going to describe right now for my talent is equipment, or because talents usually, did I write this down? Talents usually refer to like elemental. Oh yeah, relates to your elemental ability or area of expertise. Okay, yeah. So I guess for Bishop it would be like his cryo healing abilities. So maybe like we give it a more expressive name, but probably like I don't know, just give it something dramatic, like maybe Rise from the Dead or something like that. That allows him to like fully revive and like heal up, quote unquote. Because there's no like health in this game. I'm not doing like HP in this game. It's kind of like based off of certain effects that you gain, and also just interpretation based off the story of like, oh yeah, your character will probably be like dead at this point or like passed out or something. I don't know if narratively I want to work in, or like within the game's rules, work in like a death system necessarily, because then I would have to imply some health or like some implement at least a status effect that's like, oh yeah, if they get this, then they're like close to dying or like they faint or something. Like with like like with like Pokemon, where it's like they didn't die, they fainted. But yeah. So his would probably be like something like that, right? That's unique to his skills and whatnot, and works with the background. And the equipment would probably be his like medical gear and whatnot. An item would probably be like a personal thing that he's carried around. Perhaps like it can be something sentimental, like an image of their family or something like that. For Bishop, for the character based around Bishop, would probably be a picture of his father, because he does look up to him a lot. So probably something like that, right? Doesn't have to be anything too big. But yeah, so when you take actions, basically in this game, if it works for your character, within your character scope, you can just do it. But if you can't, this is when you like, or if it's like, I'm not too sure about that, the GM can ask you to like roll, or first shift your scale to a certain side, depending on what you want to do. So, for example, if I want to unleash like a super powerful, I don't know, like lightning blast or something directly in front of me, because those of us of the realm of sky can kind of control that. So if you want to do like a lightning blast or like some kind of thing to manipulate the weather or the atmosphere or something like that, but it's outside of your ability as a character, it's like just outside of your ability, it's kind of in this gray area, then the GM says, will probably say, okay, well, let's see what happens. I think you can do that, but it's just slightly outside of your scope. So, or like perhaps in a situation where it's not, like you can still try to do it, but it's gonna determine like it's gonna give you like certain consequences. So like they'll say, oh, shift 1 point to towards spirit, right? And then you would have to roll a d6 to determine like the narrative outcome of all that happening. I'm actually gonna say, because I want players to like roll dice as well, because I think rolling dice is always fun, right? So GM asks you to shifter and roll. Okay, no, that implies that you roll it. Okay, yeah. So roll 1d6 to determine the narrative outcome or severity. I don't know if we have something for that. And actually, I might put it in the GM notes on what happens. Yeah, put some GM notes about that later on how, like, what did the roll mean narratively, right? Probably gonna do something similar to Avatar Legends, where it's like between this range, like it's like a weak attack, like a weak outcome or something like that, or it's like a critical fail, or like in this region it's like a normal, like kind of succeed, and then in this range it's like, oh, like you actually went through with it perfectly or something like that. But yeah, and then there are certain status or condition effects also may hinder how your character performs, whether they succeed or not. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't perform anything unless the effect says so. But otherwise, I think you should be able to do all that stuff, because the way we have our system works very interpretively based. So it's just a lot of, hey, can I actually do this as a character? So it's kind of hard to say right now what you can do until we've completed the whole character creation, and then we can see like, oh yeah, what can we actually do? So all that being said, let's introduce this new thing here. Again, this is the part of the stream where I'm just like, I would love to just get on with designing the game, but like I did so much off stream, I gotta like catch you guys up on all this and what we've been doing, just so you guys are or with this. Alrighty, let's see here. So this is the force to be reckoned with. So it's essentially like a narrative takeover kind of move. It's like this huge move that happens that unlocks first when you get to when your scale here goes for the first time to either of these extremes. That's when you unlock it, and then if it ever goes towards the extremes again, either side, then that's when it triggers. And it's important to keep in mind that you can actually manually shift this yourself. Like it's not like once the GM says, "Oh yeah, shift 1 point to like let's say towards spirit," that it's locked in there forever. Technically, it is until you actively bring it back to center. So with spirit, you have to find some way to connect to like the material plane again, and kind of essentially just saying like ground yourself before you like lose yourself to the power of your element sort of thing. And then body wise, it's more like connect more with like the elemental side of you, or else you might disconnect from that too much that there's some narrative implications like maybe you become emotionless, or maybe like because you lose that elemental side, maybe you can't connect as much with other people, like maybe there's permanent effects or something like that. Again, up to GM discretion, but yeah, there's just some very interesting ways that you can kind of tie that together. But yeah, the force speed reckon with essentially just like it triggers the second time it hits the max, and then anything after that, this is once per game kind of move because it's a huge powerful move that you can do within a game to change the tide of the whole narrative. So if it does trigger, then you get to describe, depending on which side it's on, what happens in that moment. You get like you as the player get like full narrative control on everything that kind of conspires on the game side, which is really nice because then you're not like necessarily going to be interrupted by the GM to for any like location stuff. Like you have full control in that moment until it's whatever you're doing is resolved. But yeah, so for example, yeah, so basically anytime you max out afterwards, there's gonna be some effect that gets put on you, but like probably like a burnt out kind of effect. But essentially, to give an example what this might look like, but perhaps if you trigger on your spirit side, this may look like a raw surge of power overtaking you as your body becomes one with your element, being able to change the tides of the narrative and controlling your elemental ability to a legendary proficiency level. And the body is basically the same thing, but with towards your area of expertise, or you can shift it, or you can interpret that however you please. But that's just an example of what you can do here. But again, just reiterating on like this is supposed to be your character's moment. It's a defining moment, a huge like turning point within your character. It's something that sticks around for the rest of the adventure. Because you can imagine in game, this is like, again, to bring it back to like Avatar Legends or in the Avatarverse, it's kind of like the first time going into that like Avatar state. It's like when Aang took on Avatar Roku and just went full like God mode, got all the elements together and started like going at him, kind of thing. Like that big of a moment, like, oh, he's doing the thing, they're doing the thing, kind of thing. That's hopefully the reaction I want to get out of the players from this. So we'll see. Again, this will have to do with a lot of playtesting and whatnot to make sure that everything is balanced, and then it's not like the GM doesn't just go, oh yeah, you can just do this, and then the whole adventure kind of feels flat. And then we have certain positive and negative effects and conditions. Effects are temporary, conditions are more permanent until a key location or like they overcome that certain condition somehow. So again, these are just a few that are here. We're not going to go too much into that and work on that too much today. Maybe again, I want to focus more on the solar sprint stuff today, so that's what we're going to be doing. I was surfing before stream. I was looking at another, I don't know if it's a TTRPG, but it's game called Car Wars. I think it might be a TTRPG if I'm not mistaken. I think it might be actually. But it has like car creation stuff, so I didn't look too much into it. So we'll look on it on stream right now and just see if we can figure it out and get any inspiration, because I have no idea what to do for. Yeah, I have like zero idea on like what to do for the car creation stuff, because like my initial thoughts is maybe like, here, let me just write this down. Maybe like you roll for an engine, but like not all vehicles are actual physical vehicles. Like some things are. That's the thing. Like I don't know if I want to make this an actual like vehicle, or if it's vehicle as in like vehicle of transportation, like way you get around. Because every realm's gonna have a different way of getting around, a preferred way. Like us in the Realm of Sky, we might not have like our preferred travel are blimps, but obviously you can't race with blimps, so it's like perhaps you have like some sort of wingsuit kind of thing that is attached to your person, and you literally fly through the sky or something like that. Kind of like with Aang and his like air glider thing, except it's like metallic wings on you and like some boosters on your feet so you can like soar through the skies. Or like if you're of Realm of Fire, maybe it's like just, I don't know, they're more industrial, so it's like maybe for them it's like, if they're more, again, this is like tying back to the elemental side, it's like if you're more spiritually inclined, you will probably prefer to travel with that rather than a physical vehicle, because if you're more intact with like the physical material side of things, you're gonna have an advantage when it comes to vehicles. So to even out the playing field, players, the racers probably should race in their preferred style, I guess, of racing, like either on the elemental side or the spiritual side. But then there's questions of, okay, if I choose the spiritual side and more elemental related things, am I going to be overpowered? Because let's say I'm from the Realm of Fire, right? Would I be able to basically conjure a fire dragon if it's within my ability, right, as a character, and ride on that? Like, how would that work mechanically, right? Versus being in an actual cart. It also poses like interesting questions, because I'm just gonna bring up this. I'm gonna pose interesting questions just because. Does that mean everybody is like, do some people have advantages over others? Because I want to make this as balanced as I can, hopefully. So let's take a look here then at Car Wars, the 6th edition, designed by these two lovely folks. I don't know how recent this game is actually, but we'll take a look here. Because I saw like things to do with cars, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, perfect. Okay. Firing arcs. Oh, interesting. They have like. Oh, neat. Each player takes the dashboard and matches the color of their base. Interesting. There's terrain stuff as well. Because I'm thinking like we essentially have to make a whole new game within a game for the Solo Sprint Championship. It's like having the normal TTRPG adventure, stuffed into another one. Sort of, you're having like that, and then the side mission is like the racing stuff. Because I don't want to put too heavy of a focus into the racing side of it, although that's important. But I want to highlight and like take moments so the players can have breaks and like kind of interact with the world a bit more. And perhaps like I'm thinking early on they're probably gonna have I'm thinking the adventure is gonna start off. I think I wrote this down at some point, but the adventure is gonna probably start out in the founding city, to commemorate like the opening ceremonies or something, and then players. It's like announcing that like, oh, players have like this X amount of time to prepare for the race, because perhaps before they did like qualifying races and whatnot, and your team made it through. So now you have to go for the real race, and then given all your experience with the qualifying race, like here's like the list of shops that you had to go to, and then we could like look into that stuff, like an engine for like a body. Let's write this down. Engine, body. We could look into like. Actually, if we want to incorporate the more like elemental side, we could just say like. I was gonna say this is let's say power source, but that's kind of like, well, okay. Let's clarify engine and just like engine body, or engine, yeah, engine body, and then we'll say car body here, and then engine power source. Maybe call it a power core. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, this is getting somewhere. Power core, I like that, because it can be either powered like with things related to like your body side of things, or the spirit side of things. So elemental abilities. How can the physical stuff work? I guess it'd just be like a like a normal engine, I guess, or just a very beefed up normal engine, because you have like certain expertise in a certain field, or you can combine both. That's interesting as well. And then perhaps the car will have a. Again, I don't know how the races are gonna go. Maybe there's like a selection of tracks. I want to like, I kind of want to like take Mario Kart and kind of implement like the track selection system into this. Like have a random roll for track selection, or like the order. Actually, maybe I should do this. Random roll for order of tracks. Right? So perhaps like this is like by Sky City. Alright, so we just let's list the cities here. So Earth. How do we list it before? I'm just trying to keep to like a standard listing, because we've had, yeah, Earth, Water, Fire, Frost. It's going in terms of size here. Earth, right? And then here would say like, oh, what the track name is, and then in the GM notes we would probably put some details into what the tracks actually look like give them a map. Wait, actually, a good idea. Let's put it down here. Where are the GM notes? Okay. So probably solar sprint track maps, I guess. I already have some ideas for what I want to do for the realm of the fire here. I think I might have talked about this in a previous stream. Again, I don't know if it was that or me just like jotting down notes somewhere. But my idea for the realm of fire is to have their segment of the race start off with like, everybody starts obviously on like the edge of the Sky City at the starting line, and then probably gonna have some like phoenix statue, like a golden phoenix statue, somewhere near like a really important building, like a town hall or something. And then, or maybe even they race through the city. That's kind of cool as well. But point is, like they're near a golden phoenix statue, a huge thing. It's not like the size of a one person tall. It's like a full on like huge, one of those huge statues, right? And then they activate it with their fire or something like that, and it actually transforms, and you can see the gold kind of melting away to give light into like a legitimate like phoenix kind of thing that they conjure up. Perhaps like the shamans of the shamans of the island maybe do that, like the most powerful, more connected to the elements kind of people, which maybe also double as like refs or something like that. That could be interesting. But kind of just like the phoenix rises from that statue and flies up into the air, and you can see as it flies out all of its fiery like trails kind of flowing down. It doesn't burn anything necessarily, because the way I interpret it, it's like the body itself obviously does burn stuff, but like the trails of what seem like fire are just kind of afterglows, I guess. They're like more like light trails, like little sparks or something, but they don't necessarily burn up anything, so there's no risk of destroying anyone's cart or anything. But yeah, once that happens, they go to the, let's say it's like the edge of the race, or even if it's through the city, like maybe the phoenix guides them to like a general route through the city. That could be cool. Like they're always like above head, judging, or like the judging above head. Maybe like the phoenix even acts as the ref, so like if a team tries to take like a sneaky shortcut or something, you could see like the phoenix like crash down from the sky, like like at the whole like, I don't know how phoenix would sound like. I'm assuming they sound kind of like eagles in a sense, like caw of a phoenix, and you just either they blast down like a jet of flames and kind of block either like block or dramatic effect, like destroy that team's parts and whatnot, because they're trying to take a sneaky route or something like that, or they're cheating or something like that, or they actually like come down from the sky and just crash into the part of the city that they don't want, that whatever team to go into. But I'm assuming since everything is like fire based in that city, that nothing really is able to catch on fire, because they probably have some special material that's very heat resistant, so it wouldn't have a risk of burning up, especially from that. And even then, because it's not like an actual phoenix, it's like a phoenix created from fire that other I'm trying not to say benders, but other wielders like control, like they can kind of direct where the flames go, so they can contain it to a certain area. So it's not like it's a ramp, like an actual phoenix per se. It's like a phoenix made of the flames of other people's powers. That could be kind of cool. But imagine like as soon as it gets to the edge of the island and you're transitioning from one sky city to the next, maybe it creates this like whole fire path, like a literal like track in the air that's just flames. That'd be so cool. But obviously there is that risk of like, oh, what if you fall off, right? Because the Phoenix isn't gonna care about that. It's gonna keep making the track with its flames, and perhaps even like it turns into the track when it gets to the edge of the city, and then all you can see from the front view from the Phoenix perspective is like they become the track almost, and the runoff kind of merges into their body as they fly through the skies. That could be cool. And perhaps for us, for the realm of sky, it's like, again, stuff to do with like flight and levitation. So we probably have something to show off with our blimps, or maybe they have to take to the skies with be able to, I don't know, like transform their vehicles into flight mode. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of questions as to like how this would work, because each realm's theming is different. Each realm's focus on like what makes them is different. So it's a very interesting question here. But I like the idea of having like the random roll for tracks based off the realms. That's kind of cool. Because yeah, it's gonna be like one track for each realm. So let's see, what else would we have? We probably have an engine body, car body, any like modifications. I'll say modifications and additions. And then let's see. Yeah, so engine body, car body, or maybe we just say engine design. Engine design, because then that supports whatever core you're working towards. car body modifications and additions. Yeah, I gotta give these some names here as well. I'm thinking for like the realm of Earth, so they probably, you know, Earth and Sky are very, very opposing things, so they might just bring you to the surface somehow. And then you race on the surface, which kind of would be an extra layer of neatness, I guess. Or maybe underground, that'd be cool too. I'm thinking that Earth and Water will transition really well together. Frost and Fire might be kind of cool. Sky and Astral make probably the most sense to end off on, or at least, actually, it probably makes sense for you to start at like our city, Leviton, just because it's, you know, the founding city, probably going to Leviton and then going to Astria. I don't know, maybe going to Astria because they're the stars, but then the question is, are they actually going to go to like other planets and stuff, or are they going to kind of race like still within the skies, but just like using the technologies that make them what they are, like any teleporting zones or something like that? That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, Fire, I think it'd be nice to have the Phoenix idea for the Fire track, and then Frost, maybe it's like the Phoenix kind of crashes into the Frost Sky City, which we called what do we call that Sky City here? Glacia, right? Yeah, Glacia, the city of healing. So then probably crash into that, and perhaps there's some other like I don't know. But I think these two would transition well, and the Frost can transition well into water, and then we go to Earth. We're going from the sky to the land, and then yeah, just to also bring in the people from the surface as well, and not just be just something from the sky. That'd be interesting. Actually, maybe we don't roll then for order, because it'd be kind of weird if we went from like. Actually, let me just roll right now. Let's see. Got some D6. I'm just gonna roll. Should we actually grab enough to roll for everything? Might as well. Okay. Give me a sec here, chat. And grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 6. Okay. I'm gonna try to theme them actually. I have different color dice, so I'm gonna try to theme them to whichever realm here. 1, 2, 3. We have Fire. We have Sky. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So let's just roll. I have some dice here. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Let's roll this. Okay. That didn't make sense to roll. Why did I roll like that? Okay. We just need one. Okay. So first it's. Okay. So first it's realm of Astral. So 6, 5, 6. Oh wait, that's. I don't like how that works, because you can roll doubles. You can double here. Or maybe I just had a stipulation saying no dupes. Wait. Duplicates. I said do duplicates. No dupes. Yeah. So if that happens, you just roll again, I guess, until you get a different number. So 3, probably. So Frost next, and we roll again. Get 3 again. We roll one more time. That's still 3. We have a different number, 4. So Fire. So I still have to make these accessible then to 1, and then you just have one more left. one more number left. We don't have a 2. That'd be the order there. So go from astral to sky to frost to fire to earth to water. Okay, so I probably had to make. Okay, I could do like a very. Let me know what you chat. Let me know what you guys think. But I could do two ways here. I could do it where it's like I don't write down on the tracks the transition points. I just have the track layout, and then it's up to GM interpretation how they like transition between each other, or perhaps if they want to add like exploring the area as a transition, and then they get into the actual race of it, so they just kind of cut to the start of the race, and then you don't have to worry about transitions. Or if you want to worry about transitions, I can put in those as well, because I like the idea of having the tracks randomized. Because then you don't know, like, each adventure, even though you're going through the same tracks, you don't know what order you're going through them. And the order will kind of create, like, this interesting layout here. And I think even for within, like, each track, per se, perhaps it's a bit different, like, if you think of these as stages, perhaps there's different tracks within those stages. Like there's at least, this might put a lot of work on me, but at least 2 for each, because then you can have more variability in like what tracks you want to pick, right? So maybe they have a surface track and a sky. Ooh, wait, that could be interesting. They have a surface version of the track and a sky version. Ooh, I like that. Let's write that down. So realm that. So a realm. Let's just define stuff here. So a realm on the list counts as let's call it a stage here in quotes, and then with there being 2 track versions within 2 track versions within each realm stage. So one being a surface track and another being a land track. Could be kind of cool. Oh, what the heck? Whoa. I don't even know. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, so one could be I like that idea. One being a surface track, one being a sky track. Oh, that's cool. That opens up a lot of ideas then for what these things can be. Nice. Still gotta determine that since we now have a track system, we can kind of work on that off stream and then design the maps and whatnot. What I might do actually just take inspiration off of like. I mean, for the surface, I can probably map them to real world like locations, I guess, where I would approximately think, because it is in this world it is Earth, but just a different Earth. Yeah, let's take a look at what the what's it called, Car Wars does here with their system, because I think we can take some inspiration in the kart making for this. Wreck damage, yeah, that doesn't matter too much. I want to look at build cars. Here we go. Build cars are used to equip cars and outfit crew members, blah blah blah. Weapons. Okay. The primary means of dealing damage. Each card, okay. That doesn't matter too much. Accessories and upgrades. Ooh, upgrades. Oh, that. Oh, wait. That is important to put there as well. I guess that would be under modifications and additions. Hmm. Well, we'll just put it in there, just in case. This is just me. Is this a different font? Yeah, it is. It's a different font. Okay, upgrades. Crew point cards. Gear could be cool. Here, modify the crew. Ooh, okay. That could be interesting to see as well. Gear for player characters. So we have the actual engine design, we have the car body, engine body or engine power core, so like what actually powers the engine, so whether it be something elemental or something physical. So the physical one would be more like a traditional engine, perhaps more beefed up with certain modifications and whatnot to make it more powerful. And perhaps those that rely on more the physical side of things are able to have like more, I would imagine, like transformations. If you have an inventor on your team, perhaps having them also have add certain modifications as well, just because their nature of being able to tweak with things. I also want to add here as well NPC parties and characters. We'll probably at some point transition this to important characters and groups part of it. For now, we'll put it in there just so we remember that that's going to be a thing. Because their party is probably going to, for simplicity's sake, I'm probably going to have them be of one realm, or at most maybe like two realms, just so it's not too much to track as a GM. And then NPC character sheets probably look different than that of actual like player characters. Okay, I like what we have here. Let's see if we can find some more inspiration here. This seems like a really interesting game though. I might look into this. I saw this on Reddit. I was surfing through that asking like, oh okay. Well, not asking on Reddit, but I just surfing other similar threads of people like, is there a TTRPG or like a game that you can, like a racing game kind of like this? And apparently there is, so this is really cool. You can adjust speed, check speed, the control. Ooh, they even have a spinning out mechanic. That's neat. Yeah, there's no like consequence of your vehicle, so maybe we have some like maybe the vehicle will have HP then. Vehicle HP question mark? Maybe? Maybe we have vehicle HP, or actually maybe I just put that as a separate thing. Vehicle HP, perhaps? I'm wondering maybe if we want to roll for crew as well, like pit crew kind of thing. Perhaps at like different experience levels. Kind of give more dynamics as well. The party. Can't really think of anything else. And then we want to probably note down like what can your, or actually what can your party do in, oh wait, I should probably roll say like, I don't know if there's gonna be a roll or not, but maybe like Is it? You could have like individual cards for each player, or you could have like a combined card. That'd be cool. Because what I imagine would happen is that if you have a combined card, maybe it's like a series of different vehicles combined into one, like one massive thing, and then you have the ability like separate it off. That could be kind of cool. And then obviously we probably have a location then when we're choosing, we're rolling for all of this. Perhaps also having a location. Like here's, I don't know if we should roll for this actually, because here's where I'm like, kind of, I don't know about like rolling or not, because I would like the characters to kind of, yeah, I would like the characters to kind of make their own, like go to some sort of mechanic or go to some shop or location within the world, the game world, and then figure out all this stuff. Perhaps like that's part of like the prequel part of the story before they get to the first solar sprint and whatnot. And perhaps they'll encounter like vehicle errors or conflicts with other NPC parties. It'd be interesting as well. Like some rivalries could surface there as well. Let's see. Okay, for now, I guess we'll say, is it a... And I guess we do have a character sheet here. If we go... Is this the one? Nope. Yeah, I've made a character sheet template here, so I'm just gonna link this. Actually, I'll do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna link this here. Where's my character sheet? So, character sheet. I'm gonna link this. But I want a screenshot. What do you... Hello? What the heck just happened? Has that always been a thing? I didn't even click to open. I don't want a screenshot. I want to link something. Okay. Has that always been a thing, chat, or is just? I bet it's never been a thing. Okay. Apparently it is. Anyhow. Alrighty. So this is the template character sheet that I have. So they have their name, all their stuff that they rolled here. The background is basically copy and pasted. Talents and a brief summary about them. Character scale. So we have the spirit and body thing. Force to be reckoned with. Effects and conditions. The vehicle. So this is where like the vehicle part of it is where. Go down here. The vehicle part of it is where you'd be like, okay, is this a party vehicle or is this a group vehicle? And if it's a group vehicle, everyone kind of just puts the same thing down on their sheet. All right, and then list any like abilities and stuff. But I would actually, maybe I don't like rolling for this now, because I like this being like a location in the adventure. This just makes more sense, I guess. Like maybe they already have some of this, you know, maybe they have some of this done already, but I like the idea of exploring the world and like going to different shops and locations. Perhaps between those shops you encounter certain groups and whatnot as well, building their cart as well. Could be interesting. Maybe we don't say roll for anymore. We say explore the game world. Create your something like that. Yeah, this could be cool. And then, what can your party do? What was I gonna say for this? What can your party do with the vehicle, I guess? Or in the vehicle? Maybe like, I wanted to ask what can the vehicle do? Perhaps? Okay, this is a pretty good list we got so far. I want to make a note here. Finding these parts throughout the game world allows opens communities players act. This is just for myself here for future reference when I'm looking back on this, so I understand why I chose to do this. For players to interact with NPCs, cover locations, yeah. I like what we have so far. Let's see. We have anything else that could work here? Okay. We might look further into Car Wars here and see what we can do and take inspiration off of that, but I think we have a good foundation of what we want to do for vehicle creation here. I wonder if there's anything, other elements. I like the idea of having, I don't know what to call these yet, maybe like, I don't like the term stage here, but having within these realms, having 2-track versions, so one that's on the sky, one that's on the surface, would be kind of neat. Does make a lot of work on my end though, to just develop those things, but I think in the end it's going to be worth it because we require a lot of, going to be a lot of variation, a lot of good stuff on that. What else can we work on a little bit before we end the stream? I'm probably going to end it soon. End the stream, that is. Let's make write up the character name thing here, and then we'll probably look into more area of expertise and then develop the talents a little bit, and that'll be it for the stream. Just for a reference for what we're gonna do for the rest of the week, we are so tomorrow's gonna be more of this. We're gonna do more game design stuff, so if you're into that, check that out. Check us out tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. EDT. If not, we're doing Minecraft on Saturday. I have the crate mod installed with Minecraft, so it's gonna be real nice. We're gonna try to make some steampunky-esque stuff, work with the crate mod a little bit. But probably still stick to like vanilla Minecraft stuff, but just embellish it, I guess, with crate mod things. And hopefully try to build up a base. Last time we died and kind of lost our way, so hopefully this time we can actually find, well, we already found our home, but hopefully we're able to do a bit more. I don't know what our goals for tomorrow are going to be. I'll see as the stream comes to that. Again, 8 p.m. EDT tomorrow. We're going to be doing that. Or sorry, not tomorrow. Saturday. That's yeah, tomorrow Saturday. And then next week we're gonna be starting our Hollow Marathon. It's gonna be sick. I can't wait for that. Basically, if you haven't heard the news already, we got some big VTubers from Hololive. Mainly right now the big one is Gura and Mume are graduating, I think within the same week, which is insane. So we're gonna do a little bit to celebrate Hollow, and and also give the talents a good send off. You know, not like they can necessarily, not like they know who I am or anything, but we're just gonna give them a good send off. You know, I've followed at least the Myth Girls since debut, so it's really sad seeing Gura go. I know a lot of people are kind of like that as well. I've been seeing on Twitter and just from videos and whatnot that it's kind of basically the same sentiment that Gura's such a big VTuber, you know? She's not just in like the Hollow sphere, but for the Dodgers game. I feel so bad for the Dodgers. I'm just like, man, they're never gonna win another game. This is I hope this is not like a huge bad omen for their team or anything. Well, hopefully not, but yeah, we're gonna be doing that for the next week. For the first, our marathon's gonna last for 3 days. Originally I wanted to last for the whole week, next week, but something came up, so unfortunately I had to cut that short to 3 days only, which kind of sucks. I wish I didn't need to do that, but hey, some things come up sometimes, so it is what it is. But we're gonna try to get through that and hopefully celebrate some Hollow next week. Hollow Live, yeah, can't wait for that. I actually recently, I might post this to Twitter, but I got some recently got some merch from artists that I bought stuff from Anime North, like I think it was a year or two ago. Pretty good. I love their art, so I was just like trying to find some opportunity to find like an artist alley or something to see their art again of Myth, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was kind of building like a Myth poster wall, I guess. Where I'm at. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna post this or not on Twitter to have you guys see or not. I might, honestly. I have some show you guys the Myth poster wall. I'll have to remember to do that though if I do commit to that. But yeah, the Myth poster wall, we're gonna be kind of, we've added to that, and now we have all Myth members, not from the same artist. I think majority of the posters are from that one artist though, because I really love their style and everything that they do their art in. But also I think there's a few other artists as well for, I can't remember what posters. I can't remember what artists, but if I do end up posting that, you'll see it on Twitter. My brain will remember to do that after the stream. You know, I almost forgot to do the last stream. I almost forgot to do the actual shout out post. Not because it was late or anything, but just because it's been a while since we not since a while, but it's just been, I don't know. There's just sometimes you just forget to do this stuff, even though you like routinely do it. Then again, I haven't been streaming besides this week for a good while, so kind of on a whenever I'm free basis. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. After next week, I think it's Tuesday, around April, I want to say 29th or 30th. I can't remember exactly. But around that time, that's when I'll be not stopping streaming entirely, but that's when my free time will come to an end. We'll see when we're free again. I'm hoping that, again, I think I talked about this last stream when we were doing our game design showcase. Was that last stream? Hold up. Or was that 2 days ago? No, that was 2 days ago. But on our game design showcase stream, I think I mentioned Shadowverse and Worlds Beyond. The second game, the Shadowverse, coming out. So I'm really excited for that. So we might jump on that as well on release day if we can, for free. So fingers crossed for that. I'm really excited for that. I actually didn't know anything about Shadowverse until this is back when I just was following Myth as well. The Shadowverse did a buddy stream, I think it was called, where they brought on creators, VTubers like Mori and Kiara, and then they brought on 2 other guests. I think they were both I think one was like a voice actor, one was Giguk Garn, and yeah, it was really fun seeing them play that game. They actually got trained by like coaches and everything. Had a whole training arc on their channels and whatnot. I didn't watch all of the training arc. I saw some clips, but I didn't really watch the whole training arc for everyone. So I was really going in blind, really. And I remember seeing that, and yeah, it's what sparked the Shadowverse knowledge. I honestly, I didn't know anything about the game going into that. I just went into that because I'm like, oh, it's Myth. It's some members of Hollow Myth. Hey, that's cool. What is this game? I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna, might as well check it out because it seems kind of interesting. The logo kind of intrigued me a little bit. So I was like, and then I saw it was like a card game. I was like, oh, nice. And then I saw the art style. I was like, ooh, very nice. It seemed like a pretty, easy game to learn. In terms of like, it wasn't like as complex as Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's not like so simple where you're just like, oh my gosh, this is not gonna be interesting at all. Game loop. It's actually pretty interesting. It's developed since then, and I hope, cross my fingers that Worlds Beyond is just as good as those first few moments of me getting introduced to Shadowverse, because now I'm a huge fan. I've gone through some of the story myself here on stream as well. I might actually think about doing some video content for those stories. Who knows? Just so we can get through that part of the story. I wonder if it's going to tie into Worlds Beyond, or it might be a different story. It might be little references and Easter eggs, but I'm assuming it's a different story for Worlds Beyond, because it's probably going to be set in a different world. But I also have that, and then Shadowverse Evolved stuff. I have some starter decks, and I recently got the Glory Finder starter pack, which is like, oh, it's amazing. I love all the cards that I get in there as well. Get some like pretty good cards as well. I think for one of the packs you get like one of the decks. I want to say for the Abyss deck, you have like some pretty good like reprints of cards from previous packs that probably aren't like even on sale now, which is insane. Like everything's sold out for the whatever pack those were in. I think I can't remember exactly. I do remember there was a Merlin in one of them, which is insane. And then some other pretty good cards as well. But pretty fun. I've played it before with some friends, and it's really chaotic but really fun. Fun kind of game. It's definitely like a party game, I would say. I mean, it's kind of designed that way. It's their casual format, but still pretty fun. Alrighty, let's get back to this. We're gonna do I think we have a good layout for this. I'm gonna kind of develop this and kind of sleep on this a little bit as we go into yeah, as we go into this tomorrow, hopefully I have some more of that for you guys tomorrow, more developed on these ideas. Probably won't have a stage design necessarily, but I probably will have some of these like engine things more clarified. Effects probably clarified as well about how that works. But for now, let's add in the little blob here. Let's add in the little spiel about character names, and then I think we'll call it a stream after that. Okay, so character name. Like I say before, the below names you picked out, put down. Oops, gosh, typos. You put down on your character sheet. So character name. Generally, the naming mentions of characters, and I'm just gonna look at the font real quick. Depend on may choose to do this part last as you develop more of your character. And choose to take inspiration from the table below. So you may choose this part last as you develop more of your character in the later steps. Take inspiration from the table below, or pick a name. Actually, maybe from or pick an example name from the table below. Whatever. Okay, so let's note down the naming conventions here. Okay. People of the realm of Earth to names relate to their how am I gonna format this? Maybe this. So, people of the realm of Earth tend to have names that relate to their earthly attachments and possessions. Often times this means stations off of various gemstones, ores, or should I call it clans, or take a more historical route with Alright, let's integrate the example names as well underneath this. Example names. Okay, let's actually make a thing 3 here. I'm not hitting 4. There we go. Conventions. We're gonna make this yeah, like that. Let's cover the formatting. Wait, what? Did not copy the formatting? Change format. I guess. Guess I wouldn't do that. Okay, that's fine. I'll do this. We'll add a little table here. Make it look nice. Okay, so let's see. So based on what? Based on wars. Three. The attachments. Also put another thing as well. Mm. Okay, we'll give some room here for some names. Probably use like a generator to come up with stuff. And then let's go to water here. I'll do like a little like this. Realm of water tend to have names draw from, I would say they're still like spiritually connected, but not as much as those of Frost. That I'll just say that loosely, maybe loosely, that vaguely maybe is a better word. It sounds too loose. I'll just say draw from. Draw from. Let's say for fluid movement, flow, water rebirth. Draw from. Let's see. Take after. Cool water spirits. Yeah, probably say something like that. Okay, let's make some example names. Mm. Okay, nice. Frost. Now, of course, we're gonna fill all this in off stream. This is kind of the stuff that takes a little bit of time. Alrighty. Okay. Was they inclined spiritually in tune, maybe? Let's say what else? Or bringing about so all right. On this music right now, what the heck? Okay. Let's do one more, and then we'll end the stream here, and then I'll do everything else after stream. Let's see. Or maybe we can probably get the rest of this done, but we'll just see how long it takes us to write it. Okay, so. Oh. What do we say for the notes here? Heat or light? Yep. Garbage. Their names don't have anything to do with heat and light, often having to do with mythical creatures related to the realm or related to their element. Names that provoke city. I don't want to say it sounds exotic because that might be the wrong path with naming conventions there. Am I using that word correctly? Let's see, flamboyant. I guess, yeah. That makes sense. Cool creatures. Alright, I should know this one the best because I'm a realmless guy, so I should, in theory, know my own realm best. Alrighty. Be pretty easy to write then. Or maybe at the forefront. They're at the forefront of some names. Grand. Is that spelled grandeur? Grand. Is that what I'm looking for here? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they clearly take for things that okay, nice. Objects slash move here. Nice. All right, one last one, and then we will call it a day. Of course, I'll work on this off stream as well. And then next time we get into this, we will hopefully have a tiny bit more. It's been really fun designing this, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this as well. This design process. I haven't really seen much VTubers take like the game design side of things. I haven't really found one that does that yet. Favorites. Oh, regardless of how our names. Stars often these people from the stars often. Regardless of how they're named, these people from the stars. Entities and okay, sounds good for now. We'll keep all that. So this is more here I'll put cosmic forces. Right. Nice. So we got some a lot of work done actually today. Got kind of discussed about what we had before, just to catch up on all this. We looked at the character stats and whatnot. We made a kind of determined what we kind of want for the solar sprint section of the adventure, which is very important because that's like the other huge part of this adventure. So good that we have some idea of what we're gonna do for that now. And then I think next would just be determining, setting this in stone and then describing the effects and whatnot as well in more detail. We'll do that tomorrow, filling out these tables for sure, as much as we can. I'm gonna go with some of that, and then background stuff as well. Filling in these, just filling in the gaps and whatnot. I don't know if we want next time around to, or tomorrow I guess, to focus more on the tables, because eventually we're gonna have to do them. It's just a matter of when. A matter of when that's gonna happen. But I think we'll have to get that to another stream, but got a lot done today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this whole process. Again, if you haven't seen the previous streams and want some context into what we're doing here, go check it out. We have 2 other days where we focused on this version of the game. So I believe that's day 1 and 2. So it would have been streamed 3 and 2 days ago. So go check that out on if you can't see it on Twitch, for those of you that will be watching a bit later, check it out on my YouTube page. If not, if you guys are on YouTube, obviously it's here, you can check it out. We also did some game design showcase as well, where I showcased the game that I designed called Last Stand. And again, more RPG elements, dice. So if you really want to, you're kind of missing out on the dice part this time with this adventure, feel free to check that out because there's a lot of dice in that. So otherwise, our plans, as I said, for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we're gonna design more of this, and then Saturday we're just gonna chill with some Minecraft. And then next week we're gonna head into our Hollow Marathon for 3 days. And then it's kind of what's the expression? It's kind of in the wind on what we're doing after that. But that unfortunately will be where I have to end it today, chat. Oh, Didn't mean to cut to that. Oopsie. Hold on. We'll try again. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. Here we go. You saw nothing. This was, I totally meant to do that. Ha ha ha. Totally. But yeah, thank you, chat, for tuning into the stream. I hope you guys again enjoyed all the content. I'm hopefully in the future. I'm hoping that like what we can do with this is obviously I want to the end goal is to obviously publish this. If not to you guys, you know, either to you guys or to um like actually publishing this. I don't know how that's gonna go if I go that route, but I'm probably gonna release it to you guys once we're all done, and then we can play test it as a community and kind of see how that works. I might actually bring on if any of you are interested, any VTubers in chat who might be interested, or you know anyone that might be interested in this stuff, feel free to reach out to me via Twitter DM. I'm totally up for that, or by email, but I don't usually check my email as regularly. It's usually Twitter. Then again, I am now trying to avoid going on to my main feed because I've been talking about it these past few days. Nimmy Nightmare just got her full model, and I've been trying to keep it for the Hollow Marathon week, even though I know she's not Hollow, but like um we're gonna do some like reaction content anyway that week, so I want to kind of catch up on what we missed, what's been going on in the community. So I want to react to Nimi's full model, but I'm just like I swear I can't go anywhere on social media without seeing that now. I'm just like, I go to like I thought Reddit was safe. But because I follow like a, you know, virtual YouTubers kind of thread there. I can't remember what subreddit it was, but I think it's r/virtual YouTubers or something. Um I saw announcements for that and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't escape. It's everywhere. It's on Reddit, it's on Twitter, it's on YouTube." I literally like just as I was trying to prep everything for the stream today, I was scrolling through the YouTube homepage, setting up stuff, and then literally I don't even have to scroll down. It was literally as soon as I loaded up the page, oh, I just see the model. I'm just like, that's nice, but I would like to save that for next week so I can get my raw reaction. Trying my best to avoid those stuff, but hopefully we can take a look at that and whatnot. But for now, inventors, that has been me, Wilson Goldfinch, your steampunk inventor from the sky city of Lebanon. And I'm gonna be heading out. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, whatever time it is for y'all. Um, Again, let me know what your thoughts about this game that we're working on. If you're interested, if you're not, any additions you might be thinking about this, or just general thoughts. Pod folks, let me know in the comments. And for those of you on Twitch, I would recommend you guys head over to YouTube because I got all my streams up there from debut to now. So if you're interested in checking out any other content, I do like game design stuff. That's the main thing I do. But of course, we do like reaction content. We've done like a few collabs here and there. Not too much though. But we've done like indie games. We've done like big title games. Shadowverse. I used to stream a lot of Shadowverse. Not really much now because I'm kind of waiting on the same game to come out. But we might consider, if I have more time after this week, to do, maybe like the week after next if I have more time. We'll probably look into finishing up some story from the first game, and then so we just have some more context because we didn't really get too far. I'd say. Yeah, but other than that, it's reaction content, gaming content, game design. So if you're interested in that, check out what we have. And then of course I have like one video up that's like a what was it? It's a reaction to Elizabeth's debut. So if you're interested, it's Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame from Hollow. Oh gosh, I am forgetting the names. Hollow Justice. There we go. It's set in the thumbnail too. I can't believe I didn't read the thumbnail. But Hollow Justice, if you're interested in that. I was gonna say Advent because I've been watching a lot of Advent clips. And gosh, GG. Anyhow, that's besides the point. Let's do our VTuber shoutouts now, just to wrap up the day, and we'll call it a stream. Alrighty, let's see who we are shouting out today. If you don't know what this is, there's a little segment I do at the end of my streams just to give back to the community. We're gonna shout out a VTuber, big or small, indie, corporal, what have you or not. And today we are shouting out Isu. He is a virtual palette superhero VTuber. So let's link his stuffs in chat here. Hopefully you guys check him out. He's pretty sick. I love his just design overall. It's amazing. Just the overall, like, has this whole like comic aesthetic going on. I'm like, sheesh, man, that's pretty good. I'll see if he's live right now, and we might, for Twitch folks, we might raid him. But if not, do go check him out. I don't know if I can raid his channel if he's not live. Probably not. Go check out his Twitter. Also link. Yeah, he's not live right now. I don't think. Did he post the schedule or? Oh wait, scratch that. He might be live right now. I'm getting an ad, but let me just sit through that and just see. Is he alive now? I can check his YouTube probably. Okay, no, he's not. It's probably from a previous stream then. Okay, let's link the Twitch real quick. The YouTube as well. I'll link that in chat as well. Go check him out. If you guys are interested as well, if you are a VTuber or know anyone that is, I have a VTuber shoutouts form in my bio that you guys can, if you're interested, again, fill out. No pressure to fill that out, but it just takes around 5-10 minutes if you're interested in checking that out. Feel free to. I would love to shout you about whoever, if you know any VTubers, if you are one yourself. Yeah, and of course I'll post all of this on my social media as well. So that's basically just Twitter and YouTube posts. But yeah, we'll be doing that, shouting Isu out. Love his art style. It's amazing. And recently, oh my gosh, I just scrolled down on his feed and I just saw Nemi's full model. I forgot that he reposted that. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to avoid that so much because I don't want my like reaction right now. I want to save it for later. Oh my gosh, I got the sweats right there. Whoo, sheesh. Okay, yeah. Well, I can't scroll down on his feed. I was gonna see what he's been doing recently, so I can tell you guys what's been going on. But it looks like he's been doing. He just did 21 hours ago. He just did some Nikkei, which was very interesting. Apparently, they had a celebration, 2.5 anniversary celebration. That's nice. Sounds like some ZZZ content. But mostly what he does, again, he's a superhero VTuber. Does some gaming stuff, arts things, singing, and mostly live stream stuff. So yeah, go check him out. Otherwise, inventors, that'll be it for me. Again, I've been Wilson Goldfinch, your steampunk inventor from the sky city of Leviton, signing off. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. EDT, for some more of this game design. And then for Saturday for some chill Minecraft. Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.